Have you ever wondered why, as you get older, you feel like your body's slowly slipping away from you? Not falling apart, not breaking down, just quietly losing the energy, the spark, the strength that once made you feel like a man. Well, what if I told you the real reason isn't your age, but your breakfast? That's right. The biggest threat to your vitality might not be your testosterone levels, your blood pressure, or your medication. It might be the very first thing, or the lack of anything, you put into your body every single morning. You see, most men over 60 are unknowingly committing the same silent mistake every day. They're either skipping breakfast entirely, or starting it with coffee and a piece of toast, maybe a sugary cereal if they're feeling fancy. It sounds harmless, but to your lower body, to your circulation, to the blood vessels that fuel your confidence, your stability, your manhood, that kind of breakfast is like pouring water into a gas tank and expecting the engine to run. I've spent the last 10 years listening to men, strong men, tell me they feel slower, weaker, less responsive where it matters most. And yet when I ask them what they eat in the morning, they shrug. Here's what no one's told you. Your body wants to restore circulation. It wants to fight back against time. But it's starving for tools you've been denying it during the 1 hour it's most ready to heal. That 1 hour after waking is your secret weapon, or your silent saboteur. And if you've ever felt like your best years were behind you, this might be the very shift that brings them back. Because you're not fading, you're just fasting wrong. And if that hits home even a little, then stay with me. Because in this video, I'll show you exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and how 5 simple foods could completely change the way you feel from the waist down. Let's begin. If any part of that message spoke to you, if you felt that quiet frustration, that sense of slipping strength, then just type this simple phrase in the comments. I'm still in the fight. Not for me, for you. Because saying it out loud is the first step to taking your power back. And if you believe more men deserve to hear the truth about aging and vitality, go ahead and tap the like button, not just to support this video, but to tell YouTube this matters. And if you want more honest, practical advice like this, made for men like you, hit subscribe and turn on the little bell icon so you don't miss a single tip that could change the way you feel tomorrow morning. All right, ready to begin? Let's talk about the biggest mistake men over 60 are making every single morning. Let me tell you something I hear far too often in my line of work. A man in his late 60s, maybe early 70s, walks into my office. He looks healthy, fit even, but his eyes say otherwise. He sits down, clears his throat, and finally says it. "Doc, things just aren't working like they used to." And every time I ask him the same question, "What did you have for breakfast this morning?" You know what the most common answer is? Just coffee. Or sometimes a slice of toast, maybe. Some even laugh and say, "I'm not really a breakfast guy." But here's the truth no one warned them about. That casual habit, the skipping, the sugar, the lack of real fuel, isn't harmless. It's one of the biggest reasons their strength is fading. You see, after age 60, your blood vessels aren't as forgiving. They need help waking up in the morning. Your nerves, your muscles, especially the ones down there, need fuel to function. Not just any fuel, the right fuel at the right time. Think of your body like an engine sitting cold overnight. When you start it up in the morning, it doesn't run well unless you give it the right oil, the right gas, and a moment to warm up. Now imagine pouring syrup and air into that engine. That's what you're doing with coffee and toast. Worse, when you skip breakfast entirely, your body doesn't conserve energy, it panics. It raises cortisol. It clings to inflammation. And circulation, the very thing you want to improve, starts to shut down to preserve what little fuel it has. This doesn't just affect your energy, It impacts your legs, your lower back, your pelvic muscles, and yes, your ability to feel alive in intimate moments. But here's the good news. This mistake is 100% fixable, and all it takes is making one better choice tomorrow morning. One meal, one small shift that tells your blood vessels it's safe to open up. It's time to flow again. And we're going to start with the easiest, most overlooked food in your fridge. You've seen it 1,000 times, but you've probably never realized what it could actually do for your manhood. Let's talk about that next. Now, let's talk about something sitting quietly in your fridge, probably right now. It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and it's definitely not new. It's plain yogurt. Yeah, that's right. Not Greek yogurt with added sugar, not fruit-flavored dessert cups. Just good, old-fashioned, plain yogurt. You might be thinking, that's it? Yogurt? But stay with me, because this little bowl of white simplicity might just be the most powerful food you've been ignoring. Let me take you back a few years. There was a man named James who came to see me. He was 65, retired, said he hadn't had a morning erection in 2 years. He was embarrassed, confused, convinced that this was just part of aging. But when I asked him about his breakfast, he gave the same answer I always hear. Usually nothing, maybe some coffee. So I asked him to do one small thing. Every morning, for the next 4 weeks, I wanted him to eat one bowl of plain yogurt. Just that. Add a little drizzle of honey if he needed sweetness, but no fancy mixes, no cereals, no distractions. 3 weeks later, my phone rang. It was James, and I'll never forget what he said. "Doc, I woke up this morning feeling like I was 40 again." Now let me explain why that happened. Plain yogurt is packed with probiotics, good bacteria that reduce inflammation in your gut, and more importantly, in your blood vessels. When inflammation goes down, your circulation improves. That means better blood flow, not just to your brain or heart, but to your groin. But that's not all. Yogurt is also rich in protein and calcium, 2 building blocks your pelvic muscles desperately need as you age. These are the muscles that support erections, help control urination, and keep you stable on your feet. And here's what most men don't realize. When your blood flow slows with age, these muscles are the first to suffer. They weaken. They lose tone. You start to feel cramps, numbness, even instability when walking. But when you feed these muscles the right way, especially first thing in the morning, your body responds. You feel more grounded. You move with confidence. And yes, you begin to feel that familiar energy stirring again. Not from a pill, not from a prescription, but from something your body understands, something it can actually use. So here's the small lesson. You don't need to reinvent your diet. You just need to start your morning with purpose. And sometimes that purpose begins with a single spoonful of something real. But we're not stopping here, because if you want to take your circulation even further, beyond just restoring what's been lost, then the next food on our list might be the most surprising one yet. It's not dairy, it's not fruit. It's a warm, ancient grain that does something no multivitamin can. Let's talk about that next. Now, if yogurt is the quiet starter for your circulation, then this next food combination is the power tool that clears the path. It's not fancy, it doesn't come in a shiny package or make bold promises on a label, but it's helped more men than I can count reclaim their energy, their strength, and even their sense of control. I'm talking about quinoa and almonds. Let me explain why these two simple ingredients, when paired together, can act like a deep clean for your arteries. First, quinoa. It's been around for thousands of years. The ancient Incas called it the mother of all grains. But most men I meet don't give it a second glance. They assume it's a health food trend for gym goers or vegans. But here's the truth. Quinoa is pure circulation fuel, especially for aging bodies. It's packed with magnesium, which helps relax and dilate your blood vessels. It also delivers fiber, which scrubs out plaque buildup and keeps your arteries smooth and elastic. That means better blood flow, not just to your heart, but to your lower body, where performance and vitality live. Then comes the almonds. Just a small handful adds vitamin E, healthy fats, and powerful antioxidants. Together, they help reduce inflammation, protect blood vessel walls, and improve blood delivery to the areas that matter most. But don't just take my word for it. Let me tell you about Robert. He came to see me after retirement, 69 years old, feeling sluggish. He said, "Doc, I feel like my body's shutting down. My legs are heavy. I can't make it up the stairs without stopping halfway. And in the bedroom, forget it." I asked him to make one simple change. No more sugary cereal, no pastries, just a warm bowl of quinoa with almonds every morning. Add a few blueberries, a little cinnamon, nothing more. 2 weeks later, he called me. "Doc, my legs feel lighter. I'm sleeping better. I'm waking up with more energy, more presence, even in places I didn't expect." That's the power of real food. No side effects, no prescriptions, just nutrients that tell your body it's safe to flow again. So here's your small lesson today. You don't need to fight your body. You just need to feed it wisely. Quinoa and almonds may not look like much on a plate, but together they whisper something powerful to your arteries. Open up. You're still alive, and there's still more to do. Now, if you're ready to take it one step further, if you're looking for a food that works almost like nature's version of Viagra, then what comes next will surprise you. It's a fruit. You've seen it at holiday parties, but most men have no idea what it can do for their blood flow. Let's talk about that next. There's a fruit that most men walk right past in the grocery store. It looks fancy, exotic, maybe a little messy to eat. It shows up on holiday platters or sprinkled on salads at upscale restaurants. But what most men don't know is that this overlooked fruit could be the closest thing to natural Viagra without the side effects, the prescriptions, or the price tag. I'm talking about pomegranate. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Pomegranate? Isn't that just a snack for parties? That's exactly what Michael said to me when I brought it up. He was 63, sharp guy, used to run his own business. But lately, he'd been feeling disconnected, physically. No morning energy, no sensitivity. He said he just didn't feel plugged in anymore. So I asked him to try something different. Every morning, before his regular breakfast, I told him to eat a handful of fresh pomegranate seeds, or drink a small glass of unsweetened juice. That's it. Nothing fancy, just a new morning ritual. 2 weeks later, he called me laughing. "Doc, I don't know if it's the pomegranate or the fact I'm finally eating breakfast again, but something's definitely waking up down there." And he wasn't imagining it. You see, pomegranate is loaded with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that stimulate nitric oxide production. Now, that's the same compound your body uses to relax blood vessels and increase blood flow, especially where it matters most. It's the exact biological pathway that prescription ED drugs use. The difference? This one comes from nature. No chemicals, no crashes, no awkward side effects. And the best part? It works fast. I've had patients feel subtle but noticeable changes in sensitivity and arousal within a few days of adding it to their routine. But here's the key. Pomegranate works best on an empty stomach or just before your breakfast. That's when your body is most responsive, your blood vessels are most open to instruction. And a handful of seeds or a few ounces of pure juice is all you need. So what's the small lesson here? Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't in a prescription bottle. They're in the produce aisle. And when you treat your circulation like a living system, not a mechanical problem, your body responds with more than just energy. It responds with life. But what if you could go one step further? What if you could not only boost blood flow, but stabilize your nerves, energize your pelvic muscles, and keep that power steady throughout the day? That's what the next food does. It's creamy, it's rich, and when paired with one very specific oil, it becomes a powerhouse for male performance. Let's talk about that next. By now, we've talked a lot about circulation. How to open it up, how to feed it, how to feel alive again. But what about keeping it steady? Because boosting blood flow is great, but without balance, without nerve support and muscular stability, it's like turning on the engine without steering the car. That's where this next duo comes in. It's not sweet, it's not flashy, but it's one of the most powerful breakfast combinations I've ever recommended to men over 60. Half an avocado drizzled with extra virgin olive oil. Now, if that sounds too simple to matter, just wait. Let me tell you about William, a 72-year-old man who came to see me with a look of quiet frustration. He said, "Doc, I wake up and my legs feel like sandbags, my groin aches. Sometimes I need to lean on the nightstand just to stand up straight." He'd tried stretching, massage, even prescription medication, but nothing lasted. So I offered him something different. Not a pill, not a program. Just a half avocado mashed with a tablespoon of olive oil right before breakfast, and a glass of warm water. 3 days later, he called me. His voice was softer, but there was a lift in it. "Doc, I don't know what's going on, but my legs feel lighter. I'm not leaning anymore. I'm standing tall." And here's why that worked. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind that keep your arteries flexible and healthy. They also pack potassium, which helps regulate your blood pressure first thing in the morning when it tends to spike. But the magic really happens when you add olive oil. Olive oil brings in anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants that protect your nerves and blood vessels from the slow wear and tear of aging. It supports nerve signaling, muscle contraction, and even hormonal communication between your brain and your lower body. In other words, it doesn't just help you feel strong, it helps you stay that way throughout the day. This simple combination gives your body what it needs to balance blood flow, energize your pelvic muscles, and restore sensitivity that may have faded with time. And the best part? It's real food. Your body knows exactly what to do with it. So here's the small lesson. You don't need to shock your system to wake it up. Sometimes the most powerful change comes from stabilizing your foundation, gently, consistently, with intention. And now that you've learned how to open the flow and hold it steady, it's time we look at one last ingredient. One that's easy to overlook but packs a punch for vascular strength, nerve function, and male vitality. It's dark, it's sweet, it grows on a bush, and it might be the one missing link in your morning ritual. Let's talk about that next. Sometimes, the smallest things make the biggest difference. We tend to look for solutions in big packages, in prescriptions, in workouts, in major overhauls. But when it comes to male vitality, especially after 60, It's often the humble, quiet foods that do the heavy lifting. And that brings us to one of nature's most underestimated gifts: blackberries. These little dark fruits may look simple, but inside they carry a powerful message for your blood vessels, your muscles, and even your nervous system. Let me explain why. Blackberries are loaded with anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that do two very important things. First, they strengthen the walls of your arteries, helping them stay flexible and elastic. Second, they reduce inflammation inside those arteries, allowing smoother, more powerful blood flow, especially to the lower half of your body. But that's not all. Blackberries also deliver vitamin C, which supports collagen production, critical for vascular health. And they contain fiber, which supports gut health and keeps inflammation under control. Now I want you to meet David, a 66-year-old grandfather who'd started to notice something was off. He told me, "I'm doing okay, Doc, but I just don't feel as sharp. I'm slower in the mornings, less responsive. It's like I'm here, but not fully." So we made a simple change. Each morning, David added a handful of blackberries to his breakfast, either blended into a smoothie or tossed into a bowl of yogurt. Less than a week later, he came back to me with a quiet smile. "Something shifted," he said. "I've got more energy, and I'm starting to feel things again, if you know what I mean." And I did. That's what real nourishment does. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It reminds your body what it's capable of, one bite at a time. So what's the small lesson? Don't overlook the small things. Because when you stack enough of them together, yogurt, quinoa, pomegranate, avocado, blackberries, you build something powerful. You build momentum. You build vitality that lasts. But there's one more truth I want to share with you. Because having these tools is one thing, but knowing how and when to use them, that's the real secret. So in this final part, we're going to bring everything together. I'll show you exactly why your first hour after waking is sacred and how the choices you make in that window can either restore your manhood or slowly chip it away. You've come this far. Let's finish strong, together. By now, you've heard about the 5 powerful foods. You've learned how yogurt supports your pelvic muscles, how quinoa and almonds cleanse your arteries, how pomegranate boosts nitric oxide, how avocado and olive oil stabilize your system, and how blackberries bring life back to your blood vessels. But here's the truth no one talks about. It's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it. There's a window of time just after you wake up when your body is more receptive, more responsive, and more willing to heal than at any other time of the day. I call it the first hour advantage. It's when your hormones are shifting gears. Your blood vessels are transitioning from rest to movement. Your nervous system is scanning the environment, asking, "Are we safe? Are we supported? Are we ready?" And what you do in that hour answers that question. Skip it or fill it with sugar and caffeine, and your body goes into defense mode. Circulation tightens, muscles stay weak, fatigue sets in early. But if you nourish it with intention, with real food, with calm breathing and gentle movement, your body opens, your blood flows, your mind clears, and the parts of you that felt distant start to wake up again. Let me tell you about Raymond. He was 78, widower, retired steelworker. He told me, "I thought the best part of my life was over." So we created a new morning ritual together. Not overwhelming, just consistent. Wake up, drink warm lemon water. Half an avocado with olive oil. A few blackberries. Short walk, deep breaths. Sit in the sunlight. And most importantly, no skipping breakfast. After 6 weeks, Raymond wasn't just walking better, he was standing taller. His voice was stronger. He smiled more. And one day he said something I'll never forget. "I feel like I'm becoming myself again." That's the power of the first hour. It's not a magic bullet, but it's a message you send your body every single day. I still care. I'm still here. I'm still in the fight. So what's the small lesson? Change doesn't happen in huge leaps. It happens in quiet mornings with a bowl of yogurt, a handful of almonds, a fruit you never thought would matter, and a man who decides, "Today, I start different." Now, if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you something important. You're not giving up. You're learning. You're adapting. You're building something new, stronger than before. And the next chapter of your vitality doesn't begin at the doctor's office. It begins at the kitchen table. Tomorrow morning you'll have a choice: to reach for something that restores or something that drains. So what will it be?